All right, this is the Town of Lake Park, Florida regular commission meeting for Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. The time is now 6:33 p.m. Can we please have the clerk take the roll call?
Commissioner Hensley?
Here.
Commissioner Taylor?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas?
Present.
Vice Mayor Glass Castro?
Present.
Mayor Mashad?
Present. Can we all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, please be seated. First, we have a proclamation, and I know we have somebody that's coming up to accept it. Staff, exactly. Our Community Development Department in honor of Kimberly Raleigh. So if I can have all the staff members up here.
Where's Kim?
I know.
All right. Again, this is a proclamation in honor of one of our, I guess you could say, retired employees. Okay. Kimberly Raleigh. Whereas Kimberly Raleigh commenced her employment with the Town of Lake Park on May 11, 2026 as an administrative secretary in the Community Development Department, and on November 18, 2009 was reclassified to the position of administrative assistant to the Community Development Director. And whereas on October of 2020, Kimberly Raleigh was reclassified to the position of executive assistant to the Community Development Director, and in that role, she often performed the administrative duties of the Community Development Director, and strategically handled difficult situations in the director's absence. And whereas Kimberly Raleigh, throughout her career with the Town of Lake Park, demonstrated herself to be a consummate professional with a strong sense of duty to the town, who always provided prompt and courteous service to its residents. And whereas in testament to her professionalism, Kimberly Raleigh always went above and beyond, having served as the organizer and chairperson of the self-based Town Hall Beautification Committee, which identified and completed projects to help enhance the internal and external appearance of Town Hall. And whereas Kimberly Raleigh always demonstrated herself to be an exceptional employee of the town, who always sought to identify problems as well as solutions for effectively addressing them, and whereas Kimberly Raleigh is held in high esteem by her colleagues within the entire staff of the Town of Lake Park, and whereas Kimberly Raleigh will always be an integral member of the Town of Lake Park family, and whereas the Town of Lake Park wishes to publicly recognize Kimberly Raleigh for her service and her accomplishments on behalf of the town and its residents. Now, therefore, on the behalf of the Commission of the Town of Lake Park, I, Roger Mashad, Mayor of the Town of Lake Park, do hereby publicly recognize and commend Kimberly Raleigh for her dedication and service to the Town of Lake Park. In witness whereof, I hereto set my hand and cause the official seal of the Town of Lake Park, Florida, to be affixed on this 5th day of March 2025. Thank you. I guess we take a photo.
My pen. Shanae.
We know you're going to say a few words.
Just a few words. As everyone knows, I am not Kim, but I worked with Kim for 18 years, and I know she would have loved to be here this evening. Unfortunately, she was not able to make it. She did unexpectedly leave us last year, and we miss her dearly. Kim, as the proclamation has stated, she worked the majority of her working life in public service, and she did it exceptionally. She went above and beyond every single day to help, the residents of this town. She was a loyal, dedicated employee. She was not only a coworker to us, but a friend. She is a friend, and she will always be one. And we miss her dearly, and we wish her the very best, and we're honored to accept this on her behalf. So thank you.
All right. Next, we have public comment cards. I have 4 comment cards. Again, I just want to express that public comment is 3 minutes, so be mindful of the next person that has their time frame to have public comment, so that way we can get through this accordingly. First, I have Iris Sullivan. Iris. Are you going to go ahead and, would you like to come out, James? Okay, all right, you have 3. All right, so James Sullivan.
She sent emails to everybody, but Mary didn't get hers, so I don't know what happened. I never know about cyberspace. It's a big mystery to me.
There's a printout at your seat there.
So she had everything printed out instead of taking up time giving it, but she didn't even want to give it because she didn't feel that good. So here I am. I guess I said all that needs to be said.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. All right. Next, and again, if I pronounce your name incorrectly, I apologize. Kaha? Say your name, please. Yes, I believe this is you. And again, I apologize the way you wrote your name. K-A-T-I-A. Katia. Absolutely.
Hello. I have been a homeowner in Lake Park for 10 years, and I want to start with telling you all thank you so much for your hard work. In these 10 years, the town is looking so much better, so I know that you are dedicating your time and effort to make this place beautiful, and I appreciate that. Speaking of beautiful place to live, you guys got the copy of the petition that we wrote and a lot of people signed. And I want to specify the purpose of this petition. It is to ask you respectfully to reconsider the zoning for downtown district. I know that previous councils voted for 12-story buildings there, and a lot of people, actually more than 200 people, signed this petition. And this petition was created to help council to understand the reaction of people to these new developments, that a lot of people are absolutely horrified that these huge buildings can appear in our beautiful town. And I'm not going to explain to you every point because you have a copy. But the biggest concern is that it will decrease the property values. It will bring more than 4,000 new residents who are going to be renters. And I don't have anything against renters, but I think the ratio of renters and homeowners is going to be significantly skewed. Because right now, I remember that at least last year when I spoke with city manager, he told me that 60% of Lake Park was rentals. And if we add several very high-rise developments here in Lake Park, we will end up with about 80 to 90% of our town being rental units. And again, nothing against rentals, but it really affects the demographics. It really affects how people treat the town. It really affects how long they stay. It's much more transient. So that's a big concern for us, you know. And it used to be the town. I know that Mr. Hensley grew up here. I believe our esteemed mayor grew up here. And we are really afraid that this feel of the Florida town is going to be lost. It's going to be rental central here, which is very different feel to it. 16-story buildings that you guys have for your review right now, we'll look into it, and we are very afraid that it's almost 600 units, only 723 parking spaces for those units, which means that about 2,000 cars are going to be not parked at that building because...
Thank you. Actually, your time is up.
It's 3 times. But thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you. I wanted you at least to get that last point in, but thank you very much. Curvins Jean-Baptiste.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioner. I want to thank you for your service. Thank you for your hard work to make the city better. My name is Curvins Jean-Baptiste. I live in Lake Park more than 20 years, and I'm a former business owner. So I am here just to about the project, the same concern Ms. Katia had. So a lot of people, they do not know what is going on. And then I want to talk about exactly the building in 10th Street and Park Avenue. They proposed that I might have like a 16-story building. Story. I think I knocked to a lot of doors, including my church. My church is right there, about half mile. So I tried to let them know what is going on. They all oppose this. Why? Number one is privacy concern. Why? I don't think any homeowner would like to live to a 16-story building. You want to live next to them. So while people probably in the 7th or 10th floor and looking at kids playing in my backyard. So I don't think that's a good idea. And then other reason is people who live next to 16-story won't be able to see the sun because that building, that high tower will block, all right, the homeowners. And at the same concern, not only that, the home value, our home value. I have a house. I bought my house since 2009. And they won't have enough renters because a lot of people won't do that. So there is a lot of, I'm for business. As I said, I'm a former business owner. So I love development, but at the same time, we have to do it in the right way. So I'm here. I knock about 50 doors to let people know what's going on. And then when I explain the plan, they all oppose it. They say that's not a good idea at all. So I hope I have more time. I can explain it, but I want to thank the commissioner and also the mayor for giving me the opportunity to express my concern, and on behalf of a lot of people I know in my church and also those I knocked the door. So I speak on their behalf. I connected 51 signatures that's against this project. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. And I have Sarah Flynn.
I'd like to withdraw my comment for this time.
Okay. Thank you. All right. That's all the public comment cards I have. Next, we have the consent agenda. You see the items on consent, and I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Consent passes. Next, we have public hearing ordinance on first reading, ordinance 01-2025, authorizing participation in the Florida Retirement System, otherwise known as FRS, for all town employees, effective July 1st, 2025. Town manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Don't forget the mic.
I apologize.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As provided within your backup or within your agenda, within the approved 2025 budget, the Town Commission approved funding to participate or join in the Florida Retirement System, or the FRS, which is administered through the Florida Department of Management Services, or FDMS. If approved, all town employees and elected officials would begin to participate beginning on July 1st, 2025. The proposed pension plan is offered by the state of Florida and numerous counties, municipalities, state, districts, state agencies, and other eligible organizations participate in the FRS pension program as an opportunity to bring in the best possible candidates to serve in positions within their organizations, as well as to assist in retaining employees. It is expected that this program will immediately assist the town in various position openings that we maintain, as well as an opportunity to retain our employees who maintain incredible knowledge and commitment in growing and supporting our community. Please note that the proposed entrance into the FRS was also included in the collective bargaining agreement with our employees, with the town and the Federation of Public Employees, Division of National Federation of Public and Private Employees, AFL-CIO, on November 20th, 2024. This was agreed to move all bargaining unit members into the proposed plan. Funding is included within the, as I mentioned, in the approved budget to enable the town to begin to participate in the pension program. Initial funding to support this change in employee benefits is expected to be approximately $80,000. If approved on first reading, the proposed ordinance will be presented to the Town Commission for second and final reading on March 19th. Staff will immediately transmit the approved ordinance to the FDMS and provide all requisite documentation to the state of Florida to complete the initial participation process to ensure that the town is eligible to participate in the new program on or as close to July 1st, 2025. Further, if approved, the town would immediately proceed with closing out or terminating its current town-sponsored employee pension program, Core Bridge Retirement Plan, which consists of a 401A pension plan and a 457B deferred comp plan. The proposed letter of intent to terminate the current Core Bridge Retirement Plan and an amendment of the Core Bridge Plan documents would be expected to be provided to the Town Commission for consideration during your March 19th Town Commission meeting. Finally, the town's HR department will lead or offer various employee outreach and education trainings to ensure that our current staff are fully apprised of all opportunities and resources that are offered within the new proposed FRS pension program. Some of those resources include investment planning and different opportunities to speak to folks about their financial condition and proposed future financial opportunities. The proposed ordinance was prepared by the Florida Department of Management Services and reviewed by the Assistant Town Manager, HR Director, and the Interim Finance Director. The town has received information from a number of external agencies as well as current staff that this proposed employee pension benefit plan would contribute to improving the ability of the town to recruit and retain employees.
Okay, thank you for that. I will open the floor to any questions for staff that we may have here on the dais. So I'll start on my right-hand side. Commissioner Hensley.
I don't have any questions, but I just want to say I think it's really great that the employees get the training on it. Just been in here as a teacher, to get the training to understand the options they have is essential to have that. So I think that's awesome.
Okay, Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah, I actually had some questions, but I read And then I read it a little further. I also went to talk to our town manager because I wanted our residents to know, well, would this be a cost savings or not? And the actuality is that it would not be, but speaking on a level of all of us, I think, that are sitting here on the dais, if we are public services at all, regardless of what governmental or quasi-governmental agency that we work in, we're all part of Florida Retirement Plan. And I know that it benefits when there's more people that are involved and part of that plan. And so while there may be a little bit more costs, the initial costs going in, understanding that it's going to be better to attract better talent here because at least they know that the cost is being spread evenly, especially through all of the state and local governments that are there that are participating. I do have some scrivener's error issues though with it, and so I would just talk with the clerk as opposed to putting it on the record. But I'm in favor of this, and I think that this is a really good opportunity for our employees that are here. Thank you.
Commissioner Taylor.
I'm a recipient of the Florida retirement system, and it is a good system. It's sound, and they make good investments, I have to say. This is for the staff. That's for every employee in the town. Does that include Public Works and everybody? That's great. That might influence somebody to stay. Yes, it's a good program. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
No questions. This was discussed during the collective bargaining negotiations.
Yeah, I have no questions as well. And speaking also as one that is under the Florida retirement system, I think this is a great benefit to our staff, and it's also a good magnet for people on the outside that would like to come and join our workforce to know that if they are already in a Florida retirement system elsewhere, that they can actually transfer it over and become a member of our staff. So that's another incentive that brings to that table. So, okay, so with that, if there are no other questions, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve ordinance 01-205, authorizing participation in the Florida Retirement System, FRS, for all town employees effective July 1st, 2025.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ordinance passes. Town Attorney.
Ordinance 1/2025, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Lake Park, Florida, adopting the Florida Retirement System for general employees and elected officials and providing for an effective date.
Okay, thank you for that. I have nothing on ordinance on second reading. I have nothing on new business, so we will move on to Town Attorney comments.
I have several comments. Some of them, I can't see the manager, however, because there's a trophy in the way. And I want to just clarify for the record, Mayor, is that a first place trophy?
Indeed it is, sir.
Champion.
It's not just a first place trophy, it is a championship
So
trophy.
it would be both champion
yes, please,
and first place.
Please. Her flowers are necessary.
And now to some more mundane items. Recently, the town received an unsolicited proposal to purchase the 800 building. That building was associated with a bond for CRA improvements. That bond has matured, and according to bond counsel, it is free of any restrictions. The restriction that it had was that it could only be used for public use. You may recall when the Artists of Palm Beaches was using it, and we learned that they couldn't use it because it wasn't a public use. At any rate, the code provides a process if the commission wants to consider proposals for that building beyond the one proposal that is unsolicited. And so I was asked to present this to you and get some direction. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Well, I will let you take the star in this, Vice Mayor. Okay, Commissioner Hensley, go ahead. I mean, speaking on that, I would like you to pursue.
Or you could think about it and, let the manager know.
Well, at this time, I would like to let you and the manager go ahead and do so if that would be.
I think in addition to soliciting proposals, I mean, we have logistics to figure out because we have public uses in there, and so all that would have to be figured out if that can be accommodated elsewhere and what the costs are. So it's more than just getting proposals. I think the town manager needs to evaluate just the whole big picture of it.
Yeah.
So we could bring back to you the proposal itself with the other information, and you all could consider it and give appropriate direction.
Absolutely.
All right?
Yeah, I would say so. Are we okay with you? Okay.
You may recall I believe it was November, the commission had set aside in its budget $50,000 for Kimley Horn to be retained to study the downtown. And we have negotiated a proposal with them that allows them to do that. It's a study specifically to look at the density and the massing and traffic and the kinds of impacts that are associated with that with the level of development from applicants that are acting under the current comprehensive plan, because there was all kinds of objectives and policies that, at least in my analysis, I said, well, I'm not sure that what has been proposed is consistent with the plan, and it may or may not result in a downtown that the commission believes is in keeping with your vision for the downtown. So we don't have the contract to present to you tonight, but it's important for them to get started. And I will bring the contract back to you at your next meeting. You also imposed a zoning in progress on that area, and that's why it's important for them to get started. Now, staff, community development staff, and myself have done a lot of legwork in that regard. So I think that may be helpful to them in kind of introducing them to some of the issues that the commission believed were important to evaluate. So if the commission has no objection, we can notify them to get started and then bring the contract back.
That's fine with me. Yep.
On the 754 building, we learned that the owner is moving forward. That, of course, remains to be seen, but because the town has been informed of that, you may recall we were considering whether to move forward with any kind of foreclosure on the code enforcement liens. We did do a title search. The property is clean in terms of mortgages, so the owner owns it outright. So what we would like to do is that if the owner does not move forward as promised again, then we'd like to proceed with that action. I do have to go to the magistrate, the code magistrate, and get the magistrate's authorization to actually proceed with filing a complaint. But that is a week away or 2 weeks away from the next magistrate meeting. And then the last thing I have is the town has been involved in some litigation over an accessory dwelling unit by a property owner. The property owner purchased the property. It has an accessory unit. She sought to lease the house and the accessory dwelling unit. As you probably recall, the code is not clear, or at least doesn't outright permit the leasing of accessory dwelling units. And the commission has been studying in previous workshops, what to do about accessory dwelling units. At any rate, the town wound up getting sued over the issue of whether it could be leased and the time or interval in which it could be leased. And we've reached an agreement which I will describe to you as follows. The agreement allows the owner to lease both the house, the primary dwelling unit, and the accessory dwelling unit. One of the issues in this litigation was that she was proposing to turn it into an Airbnb and lease the two of them. We don't know if they would be simultaneous or not, but lease them in like 1 week intervals. The town code has some transient housing prohibitions in it and requires or limits the leasing of units to twice in 1 year, so 6-month intervals. She has agreed to, in settlement of the lawsuit, agreed to abide by the code, and she has also agreed that if the town code changes, so whatever you may do in the future in regards to that, she will have to live with that, although the settlement agreement provides that she can object to it. So if the change is to, for example, outlaw altogether the use of accessory dwelling units for leasing, she would have the opportunity to come in and object to that at your public hearing on the ordinance that changes it. But it doesn't mean that she will prevail in her arguments to you. It's just would be part of the public hearing process. So what I'm asking the commission to do is to authorize the mayor to execute that settlement agreement. The document was, and the releases were prepared by insurance counsel. The town has been represented both by my firm and Johnson and Selmo, which is the law firm that the town's League of Cities insurance coverage has representing most of its members in litigation. So there's no damages, there's no payment from the town. It will stop the litigation and stop, to the extent that our firm was participating, any accrual of attorney fees. So if it meets with the commission's approval, then I would ask someone to make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the settlement agreement on behalf of the town.
This is your opportunity to say, just to simply say so moved, if you wish to authorize with the motion.
I just have a question.
Okay.
Okay. We pay into the insurance. So when you say there's no cost, is that because whatever the damages are, that is what we've already paid in?
There are no damages.
So they didn't sue for damages?
No.
So they weren't suing either?
Well, they did, but they're not settling for it. We're not paying any damages.
So we're not paying any monetary value?
No.
Okay, so we're not paying any attorney's fees?
No.
Okay.
I met the young lady, and I think she really just wanted to square things and get things squared away, and made an honest mistake.
So I move that we approve the settlement agreement and authorize the mayor to sign it.
Second. All right, we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? You have your direction.
Thank you, and I'm very pleased that the champion made the motion.
Let me put this back here.
Moving on. Town manager comments.
Oh, wait, can you see Tom? Do I need to?
Now I can. Yeah. I don't know if I can say anything.
He's so needy.
I do want to say thank you. I'd like to say thank you real quickly to the attorney and to our community development director in working with the potential planning consultant. We think it's important to move forward, so we thank you all for agreeing to go forward with it. And we'll bring it back like the attorney had mentioned. So I want to say thank you to our staff for helping with that. Also, wanted to bring up real quickly that the CRA is issuing a request for qualifications tomorrow for professional design, public engagement, and master planning services for Burt Bostrom Park. The bid will be due on Thursday, April 10th, 2025. As we've talked about, we plan on doing significant surveying regarding what we'd like to see in that park. Through this is just a design. We are not committed to anything. It is just to obtain proposals to see what our costs would be for design only. We can choose to go forward. We can choose not to go forward. So the plan was to look concurrently at the same time as going out for RFQ. That process will follow state statute and CCNA requirements, which requires recommendations back to the commission. So this will come back to you for determination on which design or engineering firm if you decide to go forward. And funding is provided in the CRA budget for this process. Also, I've been asked to remind the community that the Rest Market will be held on Saturday, March 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in our downtown. Our library has a number of programs that are going on. Please visit our website, or you can go to Ask Here, or you could send an email at askhere@lakeparkflorida.gov for additional information on those events and programs. For the community as well, the town will host our annual bicycle tour for Florida Bicycle Month on Saturday, March 22nd. All participants are welcome and invited. We do have an age limit for our younger ones at 12 years old, and everyone's asked to meet at Town Hall at 1:45 p.m. with your bike, helmet, and water bottle, as our tour will begin promptly at 2 p.m. with stops throughout the town. I've also been asked to bring to you all a couple of different proclamations for consideration coming up. We have a proclamation request for National Library Week on April 6th through the 12th, as well as National Library Workers' Day, Tuesday, April 8th. And then I also have a proclamation request for National Gopher Tortoise Day on April 10th. And so we'll bring those, of course, at the earliest possible, meeting. So if you all are okay with that, we'll go forward with those three proclamations. Thank you.
Yes.
Some other quick notes. I wanted to give you all a quick heads up and just make sure I had your direction to go forward. We'd like to send a letter to the town of Palm Beach Shores regarding the fill that's been offered to us. And at this time, we would respectfully notify the town that we're not in need of that fill at this time. If there's no concerns, we'll get that letter out and... Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Also, the attorney talked about the 754 Park Avenue building. I appreciate that. The permit was issued by our oh, it has not been issued? It's still not been issued, so forget it. I've asked our, did you want to come up, Nadia, and kind of give a quick heads up? Thank you on where we are with the permit.
Yes, please.
Good evening, Nadia DiTomaso, Community Development Director. For 755 Park Avenue, the contractor resubmitted late last Wednesday. It was distributed for review on Thursday. 2 of the 3 reviewers have since responded. We're still waiting on Palm Beach County Fire to respond to the resubmittal. We anticipate that should be completed by the end of this week. At that point, we'll know whether or not the permit is ready to move forward. However, we do need the contractor to pay impact fees and our mobility fee as well prior to permit issuance.
And we've reached out to the property owner asking him to attend our upcoming special CRA meeting. Looks like he may not be available for that meeting, but he is committed to being in attendance at a future meeting, so we'll keep you all in the loop.
Shocker.
So we're keeping tabs on it and working with him. So our town clerk, if you could give a quick heads up on the upcoming election.
Yeah, Election Day is Tuesday, March 11th. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The polling locations are here at Town Hall, the indoor pavilion at Kelsey Park, and the St. John's Lutheran Church at 241 Cypress Drive. It has been advertised in the Palm Beach Post, in the Spanish newspaper, El Latino. We also have it on our website and the marquee out front to remind everyone, as well as our sample ballot.
Thank you for that.
Okay. And then also, we've provided you with a copy of our proposed budget calendar. So if you all would take a look at it at your convenience. We are proposing our workshop on Tuesday, August 5th at 5 p.m. And
I didn't get it.
Okay. I apologize. We'll get it to you then. We are looking at our first reading of our final budget on Monday, September 8th at 6:30 p.m. and then the final reading of our budget on Thursday, September 18th at 6:30 p.m. As you're aware, as a result of state law, and if there's a public hearing, a budget public hearing scheduled for either the county commission or the school district, then we would have to move our meeting dates. So this would accommodate those meetings.
Could you just repeat that first date again?
Sure.
It was September.
The budget workshop is Tuesday, April 5th at 5 p.m.
What, say that again? August?
It's August 5th.
No, that's fine.
August 5th?
August 5th, and it'll be on your document. I apologize.
No.
And then first reading of the budget and millage rate will be Monday, September 8th at 6:30. And then final reading on Thursday, September 18th at 6:30. One other proclamation. Well, never mind. I'll leave it to the mayor. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Commissioner comments. I will start on my right over here with Commissioner Hensley.
I had a comment about just the reimbursement of the Hurricane Milton that I talked to the town manager about, so I am good.
Get this out of the way. That's it? Okay. Commissioner Thomas. Okay, no problem. That's no fun. Commissioner Taylor.
Yes, we may need a proclamation of thank you to the two people who rescued me on Friday night. It was scary. I had no idea what was in that thing. And they just said, get in the hole. And when I got in there, I had no idea there was a wall, a rubber wall. How do you climb a rubber wall? You don't. I don't. But they did. They reached out to me. I'll say this commission, there's a lot of love here because they reached out to me and pulled me out.
Yes.
And I appreciate it. And yeah, I should get another thing for you.
I share this with you.
Do you want to elaborate on who
What?
reached out and touched you
You were
to
on
save
this
you?
side, Kim was on that side, and I was stretched as far as I could, and you stretched as far as you could, and you grabbed my arms and pulled me out, and I appreciate that, because there's no way I could have got out of there.
I just wanna
I'm
say-
serious, there's no way you could have got out of that thing.
Kim and I really appreciate
I
you
want to
wanting.
know, though, how did you get out of it? I don't get it. But we won't take up all this time. I also want to know, is there a trophy for the Turdy Park?
That is not a race, it's just a social community
okay.
ride.
Okay.
But there may be a trophy. There might be a separate basket for the trophy.
I don't know.
Mary, I agree. Who's in charge? Who is in this?
This is,
You and the vice mayor?
it's actually for all of us.
I mean, but like, who is actually like, coordinating this? Because Mary and I have to know.
Well, it's a combination, but
We're planning the route.
correct. Do you have any special?
I have a flat tire right now.
You have
I gotta
any
get
re-
that
Go
fixed.
ahead on, Mary, because I was
No.
agreeing with you on this one.
Okay, 'cause I have a flat tire. I've got to get on the ball and get the thing fixed
Okay.
on a local bicycle shop. Now, do you have to complete it? That's a question. Do you have to complete the whole tour that lasts how long?
We invite you to pedal along as far as you
And you
like.
can drop out
As you-
anytime?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. And if you need a hand, you will have two hands there ready for you to save you on
Okay.
any given notice.
Thank
Or
you.
afterwards, anyone who wants to go to a brewery with us,
Well, then how do you get home?
ride the bike home.
We will have a special person there
tandem-
that will
tandem biking?
provide service to and
Home,
from
if you need home. Thank you.
on a golf cart,
Thank you.
and
But I
it
wa-
respects the rules
I
of
just
the
wanted
roadway
you
as
guys to
well.
know, I really did appreciate it, because there was no way I was getting out of that. There really wasn't.
Well, we are glad that you're here and you made it through.
I am too.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm serious. I'm serious about that.
All right. Commissioner Thomas, and I just want to make sure I give you your moment because I know you are somewhat
Gotta be careful. Yeah,
with pain. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I respectfully want to give you your opportunity.
Mary, I just want to say that we love you up here. And
You'll miss
you,
me.
no. What I mean is that I truly love you because you really make it lovely. And I want to
Let's not get sickening.
no, because whatever took you out, meaning brought you out of the obstacle course, knocked me in the obstacle course.
How did you get out?
That's what I don't know. Because the last thing I remembered was a hurricane by the name of M. That's all I could say. It was called Hurricane M. And all I know, yes, there's footage, is what I've heard. There was, requests to find out if there was any injury, and I did contact HR and ask them if I still can, True. But I'm trying to save the town some money.
So you're saying there could have been foul play?
I know that there was something, but I just want you to know, Mary, we love you, and I'm glad that
I got out.
I am. I am very glad that you got out, and I really want to say to this dais, and I say it often, how much I really love the people that are on this dais. You hold a special place for me on this dais, every single one of you. And I could just go down the aisle of where, history lies, with us all here. And I love you, have taught me so much in this period of time. And what I'm saying to you is that I hope, knowing that we are all here, that we continue this spirit, because the town needs to see unity. The town needs to move forward. And it's nice to be able to have that kind of camaraderie here on the dais with everyone that's here on the dais and along with staff. And it is seldom, because I've had the opportunity to work in a number of communities, both as a private consultant as well as staff, and it is seldom where you have members of your dais and the employees who are supportive, and there is a reciprocal relationship there. And so I just want to say to this town of Lake Park, we have something very special, and we need to honor that and really cherish that. And for all of those who are hearing my voice out there, that it is, and I say that even from strangers who come in and say there is something about when you come to the town of Lake Park, I don't know what it is, but you feel it. And I would like to say that I have felt that here, and hope to continue to feel that through the decision-making that happens on this dais. And I would like to say that I am so happy to have been a part of it from the Planning and Zoning Board to where we are today. And I just want us to continue. This dais, I want you to continue to move forward. Now, having said that, there were two things even though we have sort of dispensed of it, right? And it's not going to be very long because it's so nice when we're able to get out of here early.
I'll get his haircut.
I want to just make that when we go up for a second reading on that ordinance, right, that there was just some errors there, and I want to make sure that it gets taken care of. And I know I said I was going to not mention it until there, but it is reading errors, as it relates to the second reading, and I just want us to make sure that we catch that. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Vice Mayor,
Let me move
or I
this out
should
of the
say,
way so I can speak into the mic.
champion Vice Mayor.
Well, first, I was asked, with the new budget, we had provided for PBSO to bring on some additional personnel to assist in the town. And not to put the captain on the spot tonight, but maybe he can give us an update at some point on how we've done filling those positions and how that's contributed to their service, and what the effect is. And then I know he's new to Lake Park also, but perhaps we can get a report from the captain.
Oh, I believe the captain is on his way.
Would you have to put the trophy next to him?
Would you like to hold this?
Wait a minute. Oh, that's beautiful.
Notice he had to put his eyeglasses on.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. And I do have some of those numbers for you tonight. So I want to first talk about last year's numbers. It was actually an incredible year for the town of Lake Park and crime suppression, actually. So if I could, the persons crime categories, that includes homicide, robbery, sexual assaults, shootings, and stabbings and such. Actually, we saw a decrease in the town for 2024 in comparison to 23, which those numbers were really good. Now, I will tell you, 25 is starting off a little rough. After Friday's event, I think we had person crime take place. But it hasn't been confirmed yet, so it's not on the...
I'm sorry, repeat that again?
Well, it's not. We're still trying to figure it out. It's not a stat yet.
Well, the reason why I'm asking for you to repeat that again, I know we had discussions that night when the crime occurred, and there were speculations of this Hurricane M that's been now named as a culprit.
It's a mystery.
And there was a description of it, but we understand that there was not really a concrete person or
very blurry.
Very blurry, yes.
Yes.
That whoever that individual was, it just kind of shoved right in through the camera video.
It was like a hurricane.
Kept it
We
moving.
never saw it. It was passing so fast.
Okay, I just
Yes.
wanted to clarify
So,
that. Yeah.
so right now, yes, 25 is looking a little, suspicious, but we're going to hold our own. The categories of property crimes, we did see an increase in business burglaries from 2023. We had an increase of 12 out of the previous year was 11, so we had 109% increase in burglaries, but still 23 for the year is a solid number, but not acceptable. We are working on an action plan to reduce that, so we'll have our midnight deputies. So you were talking about the additional staff. That certainly helps free up people. This community service aid allows for deputies during the daytime to be freed from their these tedious responsibilities that person's responsible for. Is traffic accidents, for instance. He's taken nearly 100 since he's been here, which frees up your deputies. He's done some amazing things. So he's very familiar with the TRACS system, which is a reporting system from PBSO and the clerk to follow these different parking citations. So he was very aggressive with the parking citations, but he learned quickly that you were not receiving any funds for this because there was nothing set up previously in all the time prior. So if somebody didn't come in and pay their citation, their $100, it just sort of sat dormant and there was no collections taking place. He was able to organize a meeting with the clerk and come up with a solution. And since he's in 2024, there was 90 citations written that you didn't collect on. But moving forward, he's already written, I believe it was well over 60, if I remember the number, which you'll start seeing revenue. So he essentially could pay for himself if he continues. He's done a fabulous job. He's doing also what we call red tags. So if you see those nuisance semi-trucks that are parked in spots that are inconvenient for everybody, you know, blocking your view parallel to the road or on the roadway and such, he's red tagged them to have them towed out. He's been very helpful with, from time to time, absences with the elementary school. He's crossing guard certified, so he can stand in for the crossing guard. Again, so a deputy doesn't have to be tasked with that, frees that deputy up. He has also, let me see what else. He's been tasked with delivering confiscated driver's licenses and license plates and bring them to the DMV, again, freeing up a deputy. Bicycles that are recovered for crimes or whatever, he now has a hitch, and he can take it to evidence. So he's been very, very instrumental in what we're doing. Again, freeing up your deputies. You have those 2 other deputies that are actively out there now patrolling. So I'm very excited for what the future, with the challenges that we had in 24, I think we can overcome them. The good news about those additional business burglaries is that we made 16 arrests out of 23 burglaries. That's remarkable. You don't see those stats. Those stats are incredible, and I attribute that to your commitment to safety in town of Lake Park. These cameras are a resource second to none. There's not a blind spot nearly in this entire town. That is just wonderful. Shot Spotter is a great piece of equipment, and your license plate readers, the LPRs, I mean, if it's running through your town, we're getting notices. And I've personally, since I've been here, have had a chance to meet with about 75% of the deputies one-on-one in my office and get their understanding for the town and what their activities are and such. Number one, everybody says it's a hidden gem. They love being here, and they love serving the community. So that is in itself a great thing. And then I'm listening to some of our more active deputies, and there's programs on the LPRs that you can filter specific task on the cameras, and they are using these investigative tools to their advantage. They know when a tag is ran that the owner of the vehicle's information is also ran. They know if that person has a warrant or a suspended license. They're strategically waiting for that car to pass them. They pull them over, and we are stopping things from happening. So I'm very proud of the team that I inherited, and I think you should be too. As we continue to grow, which we had public comment about that, and whatever your direction is, but as we continue to grow, I ask that you also consider that and have our agency also grow with you. So that's what I have for you right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
And I know the cameras are top-notch here in Lake Park, but just make sure we can look at the cameras for the person in question for Friday night.
Well, there was a camera that was pointed in that area.
Yes,
but
I know the obstacle course itself is hard sometimes to crack through and get an accurate reading of.
We have really good technology, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
We might have to go to the FBI on this one. We might have to call the FBI on this.
Okay. Commissioner
Captain Titterbo, I just wanted to say thank you. There was a request that was made, and to the response of Vice Mayor, I certainly have seen a really good response. Not only has your deputies investigated an issue, but they've come back and actually closed it. And what I mean by that is to follow through. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes what you get is they investigate it and then don't necessarily follow through and close it. And I just really like to say thank you for that, because there was a follow-through.
Okay, I appreciate you filling me in on that, Commissioner Thomas. So, one of the conversations I do have with these deputies is that we are a small town, and it's inexcusable that we don't have that follow-through. They have their hot calls, but they have a lot of time to roll down their windows, patrol, active listening, speaking, engaging with the community, getting to know people, and listening to the concerns, following through with the concerns. And, if we can't always find a solution, but we can make it a priority that we try. So that's where we're at.
And I knew my time was up, but I forgot it because somehow my head went. Could we please follow through, or have a staff person follow through? It's not with you, 1100 2nd Street.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I meant to say that. And you and I have been talking, but okay.
Okay.
You understand my strain. Okay.
Vice Mayor, do you have anything else to add?
Just thanks to staff for a great sunset celebration.
Yeah.
A lot of people came out. That was nice to see. It was fun. And I think we should have obstacle course more often. And maybe we need to bring back the chili cook-off.
I would like to add that there's a missing winner on this plaque from a prior that won. And I have proof because I have some, well, yes, it is debatable, understood. So, all set?
That's all.
Okay. I'd like to also, I apologize, Commissioner Taylor.
Yeah, just one thing. I hope we can keep this spirit and remember the things that, Judith said, because things will come up and we'll have to remember the good things that people really love about this little town. We get people that do studies and everything. I can't remember the organization, but she came up and she was from Fort Lauderdale. And I met with her by myself one day, and she said, it's like, I just had a different feel when I got here. It was just like, relief to get out of the Fort Lauderdale area and everything. And so I think we have to keep that in mind when we're thinking ahead to what we want this town to be like, or to continue to be like, or to make how we want it, rather than, not so friendly. And that can happen if you don't be careful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I also like to echo Vice Mayor's sentiments about the Sunset Celebration and with how staff had it organized along with our championship victory here. It was a great night overall. It was a lot. It was the most attended I can say I've seen to date for a Sunset Celebration. It's good to get compliments from people that live in town, but when you also get compliments from people that don't live in town, and they're echoing the same sentiments, that's a good feeling. And we had quite a bit of people that came to that Sunset Celebration that weren't in town that said, we really appreciate Lake Park and where they're going with what they're doing. So that's a wonderful feeling to have that kind of feeling. And it speaks to our staff, it speaks to us here in the council, and it speaks to our residents who all work in tandem to get the best output going in our town, and it's working. So, and we also have champions today. Okay, I guess you want a picture? Okay, we'll pause for picture.
So it's co-champions?
Okay. I guess I was just holding it just in case it was a little too heavy for her. I was holding it up. Yes, I was helping. Assisting is more. I want to also thank one of our residents who is the steward of the Lake Park Scrub. Her name is Patricia LeDuc. She took me for a tour of the scrub area. I want to say I've lived here for a long time, and I've never been in that scrub area. And I was very delighted to see the cleanliness of the scrub, for one, because you never assume that you walk into something and it's perfect when it comes to environment. But that scrub area was very clean. I was shocked. I looked out there, I looked for something I could say, and there was nothing I could say about that scrub, but nature is wonderful when it's working. And I will protect that to the end for her, because I know this is something big for her, and she is very much supportive of that, to the point where she's put herself in position to be a steward for the scrub. I hope that we can maybe somewhat coordinate with her and to do tours. Again, that's planning in the future. It's not something we're looking for immediate, but I'm really happy I took that walk with her and got to learn some history as well about the town, as there is history once you go into the scrub and you're told of what was there, that you'll be surprised to see. So I know the Historical Society will add their component to it, and I look forward to more happenings at the scrub. I also want to speaking to Captain Thibodeau, I also want to welcome back one of your newest but previous officers, Adam Pizzoni, who I saw Friday at the Sunset Celebration. He was very instrumental when decisions were made to do the technology enhancements that we've done in this town, and it was a shock to me to even see him there, and I was very happy to the point where I won't say I just gave him a hug, but welcomed him back to our family, and he was very. I don't know about Hurricane, I'm sorry, but welcomed him back with open arms. It's a good feeling when you know guys that have gone on and moved on to other ventures still see solace in our town and want to come back. So it speaks again to your echoed sentiments about the guys you work with and how much they enjoy being here. So that was a good thing. So again, I'd like to welcome him back. The last thing I just want to discuss is to my fellow commissioners. As you know, our county administrator, Virginia Baker, will be retiring soon. It has been announced, and I think something that would be extremely sentimental to her, I would like to ask if we could do a proclamation for her service to us in projects that we have sat down, talked with her. Many town managers have discussed with her on different items that we've had concerns about. And I think she is worthy of that. She has been a lifer in that role. And I would love to give her a proclamation from us, from our town, from everybody that works here, to say thank you for everything you have done for us, as well as all the other municipalities that you have worked with, and to either do it here, or even if we have to go to one of their meetings, present it to them, but I'd like to present it to them together. Five strong, us representing the town, and us appreciating her for what she does. So I just wanted to put that out there and ask your blessing as well to do this, to instruct staff to present, to get that ready.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice idea.
Okay, you want to say it? You.
So I think it would be nice for us to go to her at that meeting, if we all can,
Absolutely.
and present it there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really think that is.
I mean, I'll get my little steps in walking up a flight of stairs, but I will be there, especially. So, aside from that, that's it. And again, I apologize. I want to say I thank you for the sentiments about me saving you. And again, I apologize for whatever that was that took you out.
So it was you.
I'm not sure who it was. I know there are accusations made to me, but the proof is in the tape. And again, right now the tape is blurry. We have sophisticated equipment that we can work on to get a clear picture. But right now we're going to figure it out, and we're going to take care of that person, whoever it was, this Hurricane M that you have put a name to.
Are there recommendations on what we might want to do to the person that?
I'm not sure.
Is there any direction on what we should?
Would be in line.
At least.
Once we find out, maybe an apology.
Oh,
will
so
come.
then we'll, okay. Just wanna-
Mary, I think we all should just provide a suggestion box.
well, we're
You know?
available, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. For suggestions, please go to askhere@lakeparkflorida.gov, and you can find out also who Hurricane M is. Thank you. That's all I have. So with that, if there are no other comments, I will entertain a motion of adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Second. All in favor? Aye. Have a good night, everybody.